Alright, everybody, welcome back. Sci-Fighter going through Tomb Raider 2. It wasn't a secret boss. You have to go through that area. And while I thought at first it was a kid riding a skateboard, Phil, when he talks to you, it does sound like more of an adult voice. So I'm gonna go with I didn't kill a kid. Hopefully that's not wishful thinking. I don't know. Okay. Going down. Oh, back it up. I use large. Got enough of you. Yikes. Resident Evil Phantom Pain. I haven't even heard of that one. I've heard of like Revelations, Code Veronica, stuff like that. I haven't heard of Phantom Pain. Sounds like a Metal Gear Solid or a Star Wars kind of title. Like. Where am I going? Hit this lever? Oh, see? That short stroke. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Okay, maybe I go under. But I called it Phantom Pain. Is that a newer one? I haven't heard of it. It's just, it sounded like something Metal Gear Solid would come up with. Okay. Got a circuit board submerged in water, so I'm sure it works perfectly. Oh, I'm down here, okay. How was it? Was it any good? I liked Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. Snake Eater was strange. I don't really have a set feeling about it. Like, some of it was kind of interesting and some of it was like, I don't know. A couple of the bosses were cool. Alright, rat boy. I wouldn't call it a stroke either. Like, we'll call it a brain fart here in the States. Come on, buddy. Come on back. Counter the first enemy, slow motion starts. Oh, jeez. You're like, man, look at me. Nailed that dude. And then you're like, that dude was a kid and I'm apparently not supposed to do that. That's rough, yeah. Why are you pulling out a flare? I swear I am not doing those on purpose. Goodness. And a rat. Anybody else? Is there an enemy type I have not just killed? Did you drop me anything? No, you didn't. What a jerk. That's kind of rough, though. So are you not supposed to shoot him? Are they supposed to shoot you? Yeah, it doesn't look all that fast for a platforming kind of a game. But at the same time, because how slow it responds, it's fast enough, you know, like she doesn't respond immediately when you do stuff. Okay, let's pull this, I guess. Oh, well, that looks dangerous. That one stayed shut. Non-lethal, but it doesn't tell you any of that, huh? Open world. An open world Metal Gear Solid. Huh. I mean, Snake Eater felt a little bit that way, but you still had a path to go down. So is it like Breath of the Wild kind of open world? Alright, we're gonna save it. That's kind of crazy. Like, there's no mission briefing, no nothing to let you know. You just have to kind of do it the first time and be like, oh. Oof. But the unfortunate part of that is that child soldiers are a thing. Like, what was I watching? I was watching there's a reaction to... Was it James Bond? I think it might have been Casino Royale. And there was a kid holding a gun, and the people doing the reaction, like, had some strong feelings about it. And as they should. Right? Because that happens in real life. Where am I going? Ah! And it's, I don't know, it seemed like it was this alien concept to them, whereas, I don't know, as a guy, I feel like we get a little bit more interested in, like, how different militaries operate and stuff, and so, like, I kind of know that that's a thing, so it's not as shocking, which is bad, right? Desensitization is not great. But yeah, it's interesting that some people don't know that's a thing, I guess. Like any gun, do you... I mean, I don't necessarily have so strong of feelings that I can't have a discussion, right? Ah, go away. Because I know there's a difference, right? Like, your cops over there, Bobby's, something like that, right? Like, they, everybody's unarmed. I can't make it that far. I can't make it that far. Goodness. Whereas over here, you know, everybody has a Second Amendment right to, for the most part. Right, and so I can understand from different cultures, there's different ideas, and I have no issues with that. I feel like Germany still holds a lot of guilt, and so they probably don't do as much as they could. But they do have some special forces. What are they called? Can't remember. S something. Man, I can't think of what it is. SG9? Is that what it is? Or is that a different country? Yeah. And so I get that. Like, I get that not everybody's America. Like, everybody's gonna have different values, different rule sets that they're accustomed to. I mean, the thing that I would mention, right, is that I own quite a few guns, right? GSG9, yeah. So like they got guys that can handle stuff. But I own quite a few. I've never harmed anybody with a weapon, right? So it's the person, not necessarily the item. Well, then what am I supposed to do? Maybe back up and standing jump? So I judge the person more than whatever it is that they hold. Because like, so over there, right, you guys have very strict gun laws. You can't just own firearms. So I imagine more stabbings and things take place, right? Like, no matter what you limit a person to, they will use. And even with outlawed guns, it might not be as many shootings and things, but they still happen. And that would make your public less inclined to be able to defend themselves, right? The other part is the purpose. I would also put out, too, in that regard, that you can't just look at what they like to say, right, gun violence. Guns don't commit violence, people commit violence, right? It doesn't matter what they have. If they didn't have a gun, they would have a knife. If somebody wanted to harm somebody, right? Didn't, what, like Cain and Abel, didn't he smash him with a rock or something, right? Like whatever it is that they have, people are gonna do. If they have the will, they'll do it. Nope, that didn't work. So most of that is statistics that people will put one part, but they won't put the other part. Think about, you have to look up how many guns are owned, how many people own guns in the US, and then the self-defense statistics as well, because just having a firearm has prevented far more acts of gun violence than has happened, right? So if I'm just throwing out numbers, but say like, I don't know, 10,000 gun-related deaths happened. There is statistics out there that the low end, I think, is like 2 million self-defense uses of firearms are used. So, I mean, like, everything has the pro and the con. Everything has the ebb and flow. And I don't know exactly how it works that way. But the other part is, you're not going to be able to remove them all. You can't snap your fingers and just remove all the guns. If you just outlawed guns here, they would not, like, the criminals are not just going to go like, oh, darn, it's now illegal, I guess I'll give them up. So because they're already out there, I don't feel like we could abolish guns. So then it depends on the person. The person has to put themselves through training, has to dedicate themselves. Like, legal gun owners are the smallest amount of people committing gun crimes. The people committing gun crimes usually have an illegally owned firearm. And if they're willing to do something illegal, like making a new law is not going to change that. The other part, too, would be if you consider why we have made it a right to own a firearm, because of where our history came from. Nothing against you guys, but we separated with a little bit of hostility, right? Like, it's not like Britain was just, you know what? That's fine. You guys go ahead, do what you gotta do. You be your own place. It wasn't quite how it went. Okay. So I can't just jump up and climb up. Okay, backflip worked. Do it again. Yeah. What's up here? Okay. So then I don't know Germany's stats. I just know, well, I don't know, but I like offhand I don't like just know a whole bunch of like concrete stats. You'd have to look it up, but I do know that if you looked up how many acts of violence were prevented by just somebody possessing a firearm, it outweighs the amount of other issues. The other part too is you have to look at what's included. So for our statistics, a lot of people will include, say, like suicide. Right? I hear somebody walking around. Like, if somebody's committing suicide, they probably will do it with whatever they have to. If they're that desperate, right? They'll use whatever means necessary, poisoning or a knife or whatever it is. Which is unfortunate, but like, what else can you do at that point? What am I doing with this box? If I can move this box, there must be a purpose for this box. See up here? So, I don't know. All that to say, I guess, that I wouldn't blame somebody for owning a firearm more than I would blame the reason that they have it, right? But, again, different laws are different. If I lived over there, I wouldn't own one because it'd be illegal, so I'd follow that law. Here, it's legal to own one, so I will, because there's some crazy people out there. So I carry, not everywhere I go, like, there's different laws, like I can't, like what I said earlier, right? We went to my kid's school. You can't carry by a school, obviously, so I didn't. So the law-abiding citizen, I think, is just fine. It's those other people, you know? What am I doing with this stuff? Let's move this again. No? Well, what's the point of any of this? Oh, bring that box out, maybe? Okay, okay, okay. Got this. If you look at like a lot of the riots that happened in 2020 and such, people have to be able to defend themselves. Like it's unfortunate that it's true, but it is still true. And they're going to use whatever law-abiding means that they have to do so. I don't know. I think, in my opinion, demonizing guns is not necessarily the answer. I see the appeal because it's easy to do. It's easy to think like, oh, we just make a new law. But obviously, some people don't follow the law, which is unfortunate. But it's human nature at the same time. We've been killing each other, as said, since Cain and Abel, since the beginning, right? Like, it's not good, but it's human nature. Come on, buddy. I got some bullets with your name on it. So, and all that to say, you know, just trying to have a discussion. I don't think, not trying to necessarily prove a point or anything like that, just explain my point of view and get other people's point of view. I think it's important to have conversations like that. Otherwise, everybody just thinks they disagree with each other, and there's no way around it. And I don't think that's good for society as a whole, just to be like, well, we're just going to disagree, and you're going to be wrong, I'm going to be right. That's all there is. Where are we at here? Oh, we're back up here. Okay. And now these rocks are going to fall because we didn't trigger them earlier. And I'm somewhat intelligent. There we go. Okay, now we need to push this button and flip this gate. And put the part in there. What was that? I don't know what happened. Oh, there's a new guy down there. Oh, on the other side of the stage, there's now a opening. Okay. So now we gotta flip all this again. Go back down. Do for another break also. This. Climb on up. But yeah, I don't know. Gotta have discussions. If we don't put ourselves through any kind of discussions. We'll never grow. We'll never be open-minded. And it just doesn't solve anything to be that way. I just jump in the water? Is that the easiest thing to do? It might be. Alright, we're going to save it. We're going to hit a quick break. We'll be right back. Hang tight. Go through some more Tomb Raider in a minute.